Welcome to Histology. At the dawn of creation, when the cosmos was a boundless emptiness, a mighty entity emerged from the swirling mists, the god of night and discord, Tezcatlipoca. His skin was darker than obsidian, reflecting the cosmic void, and his smoky mirror eye uncovered the most hidden truths of the human spirit. According to the Aztecs, the universe was ever in flux, a grand stage where creation and destruction repeated across multiple cosmic eras. Each cycle, known as a sun, was overseen by a distinct deity and met a calamitous end, paving the path for renewal, with Tezcatlipoca presiding as a vital force of change. Tezcatlipoca was the first to become the sun, bringing forth Nahui Ocolotl, the Jaguar Age, in which he shaped the land at his discretion. In this primeval span, he introduced the colossal giants as the earliest inhabitants, massive beings who roamed the earth with formidable power. These giants possessed insatiable hunger and mighty strength, devouring roots and wild fruits, while their footprints sculpted mountains and lakes. Under Tezcatlipoca's dominion, the earth remained a vast, untamed realm where primal nature held absolute rule. Although Tezcatlipoca ruled the first world, the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl surfaced as a contrasting power of life, wisdom, and structure. He guided artisans, farmers, and priests, mastering language and script, and offering balance to Tezcatlipoca's chaotic force. Quetzalcoatl appeared as a green-plumed serpent, representing renewal and fertility, and soon challenged Tezcatlipoca's authority over the world. Their epic duel shook creation itself, as order clashed with chaos and radiance battled darkness in a cataclysmic struggle. Using cleverness and resolve, Quetzalcoatl hurled Tezcatlipoca from the heavens, dooming him to roam as a furious jaguar, thus ending the Jaguar Age. Transformed and enraged, Tezcatlipoca's fury grew boundless, heralding the rise of a new era shaped by his vengeful spirit. With savage force, he devoured the giants, igniting quakes and volcanic eruptions that stained the heavens a crimson hue. The first world was obliterated by this carnage, concluding in a torrent of turmoil and ruin. This ruinous collapse illustrated for the Aztecs the necessity of harmony, revealing how unchecked might breeds devastation. Only Quetzalcoatl's intervention restored order, though the toll exacted by his victory was dire. Nevertheless, Quetzalcoatl endured and forged the second sun, known as Nahui Ehecatl, or the Wind Age, offering humanity renewed promise. He stood as the architect of this fresh epoch, summoning wisdom and might to reshape existence from the wreckage of the old world. Harnessing immense insight, Quetzalcoatl created a realm unlike its predecessor, appointing Ehecatl as the son of this tempestuous domain. Gales roared across the land, and ferocious tempests ravaged every corner, defining the spirit of the Wind Age. Survival demanded tenacity in this storm-lashed realm, where Quetzalcoatl crafted a fresh human race from sacred maize. Though smaller than the erstwhile giants, these people thrived through ingenuity and unyielding adaptability. Armed with intellect, they mastered maize farming, erected wind-proof dwellings, and endured the volatile gales. Their resourcefulness shaped advanced methods of agriculture and construction, ensuring the success of their staple crop. By reading nature's omens, they prepared for storms and shifted their tasks as needed, showcasing exceptional resilience. Their bond with the gods ran deep, a spiritual kinship that guided them in reverence and devotion. By honoring maize through sacred rites, they embraced humility absent in the prideful giants of the Jaguar Age. Meanwhile, the embittered Tezcatlipoca beheld their flourishing world with increasing scorn. His old humiliation gnawed at him, fueling a vengeful spark that refused to fade as he resented Quetzalcoatl's success. Overcome by malice, he manifested as an unparalleled windstorm, intent on obliterating all that stood in his path. Enormous tempests blustered across the terrain, unleashing havoc, uprooting forests, and toppling homes in their wake. Humankind, stunned by this supernatural rage, fought valiantly for survival amid the roaring whirlwind. Many hid in caves or offered sacrifices to calm his anger, yet Tezcatlipoca's destructive intent was unyielding. His sole desire was to annihilate the nascent race, granting them no respite or mercy. His cruelty took shape when he cursed humans into monkeys, a humiliating emblem of their downfall. Despite the catastrophe, a handful fled his wrath by transforming into birds, fish, or reptiles, and hiding in remote havens. Those who lived carried the Wind Age's legacy, which concluded swiftly and in anguish. Ehecatl fell from power, and humankind, largely changed into apes, became aimless wanderers. His devastating wrath ushered in more ruin, closing another cosmic chapter and showing how frail life can be. Once the Wind Age perished, Tlaloc, the rain god, emerged as the third sun, Nahuitl. Under Tlaloc's reign, fertile rains nourished the land, fish teemed in overflowing rivers, and bountiful crops thrived. So commenced the Rain Age, where Quetzalcoatl's profound knowledge birthed yet another people from hallowed maize. Unlike the towering beings of the Jaguar Age, these humans were smaller yet more flexible, adept at cultivating maize and reading nature's signals. Their structures shielded them from harsh winds, while they honed survival strategies through observation and clever adaptation. Tlaloc's generous waters bolstered agriculture, enabling fields of maize, beans, and squash to thrive across the land. However, such abundance led many to grow careless, taking the divine gifts for granted. Over time, people ignored their sacred duties and ceased venerating the deities who granted them sustenance. Quetzalcoatl perceived their ingratitude, recognizing how arrogance imperiled the delicate balance of the Rain Age. Rather than cherishing nature's bounty, they sank into indulgence, while their sacred music and dance lost its reverent core. Quetzalcoatl's resentment surged, fueled by the sight of such disrespect for divine generosity. Observing their abandonment of his teachings, Quetzalcoatl resolved to unleash a flood that would cleanse and reprimand humankind. The harmony he once cultivated now lay in tatters beneath human conceit, and his dire act aimed to restore cosmic order. What once nourished the land became an unrelenting torrent, drowning entire settlements, farms, and towns in its wrath. The planet was submerged by the swelling floods, as though enraged nature demanded payment for humanity's insolence. Amid this cataclysm, Quetzalcoatl witnessed mortals perish by their own pride, viewing the deluge as both wrath and renewal. So overwhelming was the devastation that only a sparse remnant survived by transforming into fish and finding refuge beneath the waves. Thus concluded the Rain Age in watery apocalypse. Its once verdant land turned into endless sea. The thriving populace dwindled to a tiny fraction, left clinging to existence on the rising tides. With Tlaloc's fall, the third sun's closure ushered in a fresh cosmic turn, as Chalchihuitlacal rose as the fourth sun. This goddess of springs and seas, wedded to Tlaloc, shared dominion over a realm dominated by water. Chalchihuitlacal radiated compassion and potency, her jade-like visage a symbol of purity and fecundity. In her era, the planet became a submerged expanse, ruled by gentle currents and alive with aquatic wonders. Endless seas dominated the horizon, dotted by lone islands sheltering living creatures. Gentler rains blessed a lush aquatic ecosystem, where fish flourished and corals formed vibrant submarine vistas. Quetzalcoatl fashioned people to suit these waters, granting them sleek bodies and limbs akin to fins for swift swimming. Their wide, glowing eyes peered through the dim seabed, permitting them to dwell comfortably among the waves. They dwelt amid reefs, subsisting on plentiful marine life while coexisting peacefully beneath the tides. In this wondrous water age, hidden mysteries thrived in the shadowy ocean trenches, guarded by unusual beings. Venturing through reefs and hidden grottos, people uncovered the ocean's marvels, forging a profound respect for its might. Yet this era of aquatic splendor proved brief, merely a fleeting moment in the greater Aztec cosmic tale. Shifting currents and sudden tsunamis rendered the underwater existence uncertain. Demanding steadfast calm ensued, fate struck without warning, ending the water age in ruthless upheaval. A crimson downpour descended from the heavens, staining waters blood red and exterminating marine life in enormous numbers. This fearsome event consumed all in its path, transforming the once vibrant underwater realm into a scene of ghastly ruin. People caught in the onslaught fought to endure, clambering onto islets or seizing any drifting fragments for safety. Most, however, were claimed by this merciless storm, swept into the red torrent without hope of rescue. A small band fled the deluge by ascending towering leafy trees, grasping branches as the water steadily crept higher. Yet their survival brought profound change, as nature's magic sealed their destiny in ways none could foresee. Affected by Chalchutlacu's enchantment, they morphed into monkeys, nimble enough to live in trees on fruits and leaves. Thus concluded the Water Age in sorrow, its goddess toppled, and humanity left to mourn another shattered world. Still, those monkey descendants carried a glimmer of hope into the future beyond the submerged world's fall. In Teotihuacan, the divine assembly weighed another sacrificial act to restore light amid the encroaching darkness. They realized a deity must again offer his essence to reignite the sun, with Teotihuacan's sacred pyramids standing as prime witnesses. Hallowed temples soared into the heavens, embodying the city's cosmic vigor for hosting this momentous choice. In the city's core, a hallowed brazier blazed, symbolizing the universe's pulsating heart as the gods deliberated who should bear this burden. Their choice would determine the future of creation, and anticipation filled the air as they weighed each candidate. Two contenders emerged, Tecuitzlacatl, wealthy and vain, and Nanahuatzin, humble and afflicted by sores. While the arrogant god believed his grandeur suited the role, the modest deity accepted it as a solemn calling. They erected a vast pyre in Teotihuacan's heart, its fire roaring as the two gods fasted and performed penance for 4 nights. Tecuitzlacatl adorned himself with exquisite gems and feathers, whereas Nanahuatzin brought humble offerings drawn from his wounds. Summoned first, Tecuitzlacatl dashed for the inferno, yet each time its fierce brilliance drove him back in terror. In contrast, Nanahuatzin, brimming with unwavering resolve, shut his eyes and leaped straight into the blazing pyre. Consumed by flame, Nanahuatzin's sacrifice birthed a brilliant sun in the eastern sky, lighting existence anew. Shamed by this display, Tecuitzlacatl followed suit, but emerged merely as the pale moon. Their fates shaped Tonatiuh, the 5th sun, clarifying why the lunar orb pales beside the sun's vivid blaze. Nanahuatzin's fortitude earned him the sun's throne, and Tecuitzlacatl's hesitation bound him to dim lunar splendor. Vast portions of land lay submerged, but a terrible goddess named Tlaltecutli threatened any attempt to shape fertile ground. Bearing countless fanged mouths and an unending hunger, she consumed each creation, thwarting the gods' efforts to finalize the earth. The ground shook with her steps, her terrible cries resounding in the deep, intimidating all who came near. She devoured every living thing, perpetuating a fierce struggle where life's emergence remained perilously uncertain. Anxious over this dire predicament, the gods gathered to seek remedies, with Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca guiding the effort. They realized only Tlaltecutli's downfall would permit a stable earth, demanding the sum of their might and guile. With Tonatiuh aloft, concern lingered over Tlaltecutli's menace, compelling a divine assembly to preserve cosmic order. Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, the strongest among gods, stepped forward to vanquish her and ensure the earth's formation. United in selflessness, they resolved to confront Tlaltecutli, paving the way for a habitable realm. Fully aware of the mortal danger, they ventured forth, driven by a devotion to existence itself. They transformed into colossal serpents, their elongated forms gleaming with newly formed scales. Quetzalcoatl shone in emerald splendor, representing revitalization, while Tezcatlipoca's ebony coils exuded raw might. Their combined power surged as they readied to subdue Tlaltecutli and birth a fresh creation from the swirling void. A colossal conflict erupted, the serpents colliding with the ancient goddess in a cosmic storm of fury. Tlaltecutli bellowed, thrashing with claws potent enough to split mountains, stirring titanic tsunamis with her thrashing limbs. Lightning-streaked skies blackened with tempestuous clouds, mirroring the savage onslaught unfolding beneath them. Green-hued coils bound her trunk, while the dark serpent slashed relentlessly, drawing streams of scarlet blood into the ocean. Across timeless ages they clashed, weaving a dreadful tapestry of both decay and inception. Ultimately, her stamina failed, and the goddess fell under their unified might, her body shattering into cosmic fragments. Those scattered parts blossomed into a nascent reality, forging land and life from her formidable remains. Determined to populate this fresh land, Quetzalcoatl journeyed into Mictlan to retrieve ancestral remains for new life. Governed by fearsome lords, that gloom-filled domain harbored trials and perils at every turn, yet his resolve endured. His passage into Mictlan resembled an epic adventure, brimming with lethal hazards and uncanny creatures. He waded through blood-soaked streams swarming with fiends, trudged across bone-filled wastes, and ascended mountains lost in mist. The death gods unleashed endless trials, from maze-like corridors to fathomless abysses and monstrous sentinels. But Quetzalcoatl's brilliance prevailed, as he charmed fiends, pacified beasts, and navigated confusion with sagacious cunning. At Mictlantecuhtli's throne, he pled for the ancient bones, claiming they were key to regenerating existence. Unconvinced, the Death Lord demanded he coax music from a seamless conch, a task deemed impossible. Ingeniously, Quetzalcoatl bored holes via worms and enlisted bees for the melody, thereby fulfilling the challenge. Armed with the bones, he emerged triumphant, crushing them into dust and blending it with his divine blood and maize to form living clay. From this mixture, he molded humans and infused them with a holy breath, uniting mortal clay with divine essence. Maize and ancient remains converged with Quetzalcoatl's blood, bestowing reason, imagination, and devotion upon the newborn race. The once barren land now teemed with living wonders, as the fresh mortals embraced their destiny with hope. Still, Tlaltecuhtli's hunger lay dormant, her presence woven into the earth, an unspoken threat to humankind. Her lament reverberated as quakes and eruptions, prompting humans to yield blood offerings to calm her ravenous spirit. A solemn covenant bound them to nourish the sun with life's essence, forestalling cosmic collapse. Thus, grand-scale sacrifices emerged in Aztec ritual, fueled by the creation of the fifth sun, Nahui Olin. They believed perpetual offerings were vital to keep this sun of motion aloft and preserve universal balance. In Aztec eyes, these tributes were essential tokens of reverence, safeguarding life's delicate equilibrium. Moved by empathy, Quetzalcoatl bestowed maize upon people, a nourishing boon granting vigor and happiness. Magui, source of pulque, also came from divine hands, lifting hearts and bridging mortal life with the sacred. Yet they recognized the fifth sun's demise would eventually arrive, a truth rooted in their cosmic vision. They viewed history as cyclical, each epoch doomed to vanish in cataclysm, yet they strove to delay this end. Rituals and blood offerings formed the core of their struggle to extend the lifespan of their current sun. By fueling the sun with the blood of captured warriors, they upheld its power, preserving the day's vital circuit. They assumed a future cycle would emerge once this sun perished, though its form remained shrouded in mythic secrecy. Such convictions revealed their deep bond with time's cyclical flow, embracing life's fleeting essence. In their eyes, each destruction heralded a subsequent rebirth, a perpetual dance of endings and beginnings. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.